Benfica Podcast is one of the founding members of Benfica Independent. Benfica Independent is an independent platform made by fans for fans. And in it, you can find our podcast, along with many other podcasts, along with articles of opinion, video segments, and much, much more. We're also on patreon.com/Benfica Independent with exclusive contents for our patrons.
Hasta que no estás aquí dentro no sabes la grandeza de este equipo. Sí, es un club que tiene una grandeza que no se comprende si no estás aquí dentro.
São de uma magia única, benfiquista, que só nós sentimos assim. Por muitos desgostos que possamos ter, valores mais altos se levantam. E o valor mais alto que se levanta em termos futebolísticos chama-se Benfica.
Quero o Benfica intimidar o adversário. Quero um manto sagrado entrar com vocês em qualquer estádio. E estádios, pá! É isso que eu quero!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Talking to the Benfica Podcast. My name is Alfredo Fumaças, coming to you live, except on international duty. With me, as always, Dave de Oliveira. Dave, what's happening?
What is going on, Alfredo? Great to be back. International duty has come and gone. Actually, was curling. Speaking of internationals, I was curling with the Portuguese national team. There's got to be some videos and pictures to come from that experience. But that's how I spent my international duty, curling with the Portuguese national team. But great to be back here tonight.
Yeah, guess who else is back? Cristiano Oliveira, da Silva Fernandes Leite Capelo Rego. What's happening,
What's
Chris?
up?
Been a while.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can
Loud
hear
and
you.
clear.
I couldn't hear myself in the headphones. What's up, my good friends, my beautiful people, and the ugly ones too? Welcome once again to another Benfica podcast. Alfredo, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
I see you keeping things, a mystery. I still can't see your beautiful face. I mean, I haven't
You're
seen
gonna have
you
to
in a
put
few
on
months.
YouTube.
Oh yeah, YouTube. Yeah, that's right. I see you here, but this is this new technology stuff. Dave, being out for a little while, I feel like an old man once I return. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Benfica podcast. Another night, another podcast. Miss you guys, bro.
When was the last time you were on, Chris?
It's irrelevant, bro. Look, just
Before
be happy
August?
I was. Just be happy
Beginning
I
of
was-
August?
Be happy that your
Had
your
the season even
listeners.
started?
We were 1-0, I think.
Listen, guys. Be happy that the downloads went up since I've been gone. You know what I mean? I hope not to throw a wrench into things to mess that up. So look, I'm back. That's all that matters. Let's focus on the positives. Benfica, obviously, not too much of a positive to talk about, but what can I say, man? I can't call it.
Well, for you, it's been a lot, nothing but positives. It's just a bump on the road for Dave and I. But Cristiano Gary B is asking where you got that hat. He likes it. He wants to get one.
I don't see Gary. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I want to get one myself. Where the hell did I get it? I don't recall, but I'll figure it out. And once I do,
He
I'll
went to
let you guys know.
Tarap's house and he picked it out of Tarap's closet there.
Yeah, as he was moving, I was helping him
Yeah.
move. I took the hat.
So anyway, here we are, episode number 460. On tonight's podcast, we will recap the Vitoria game. We'll look ahead to PSG coming to Stadio Luz tomorrow. And also Rio Ave, which comes up this week. So let's get right into it. Benfica traveled. Cristiano's not there.
I'm here.
Did you shut off your camera? Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
I'm
There you are.
testing things.
Yeah, so Benfica traveled up north to the birth city to play Vitoria after an international break. And I got to be honest, there's a lot of times that we talk about international breaks and we said, it's a welcome break because it's going to give some of these guys some rest. But the main guys ended up traveling to the national team. Enzo traveled basically across the ocean to play for Argentina. He admitted himself this on the presser before this game, before the PSG game or for the PSG game, that he had tired legs against Vitoria. But really, a somewhat rusty Benfica. Very, 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 very slow. But I'll give you the lineup. We'll get into the game. Vlaco Dimos was in goal. Bas, Antonio Silva, Otamendi, Grimaldo, Enzo Antino, Neres, João Mário, Rafa, and Gonçalo Ramos up front. Chris, you haven't been here for a while. You're going to talk a lot today.
I just before you went on to the starting line, I want what ocean? You said he went across the ocean. I mean, there's like what 7 oceans?
The Atlantic Ocean to
know.
Argentina or wherever. He played in New Jersey.
He played in the
Red
United
Bull
States.
Arena. Yeah,
Miami and
Well,
Red
they
Bull
sailed
Arena.
across the ocean.
It's still across
It is the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people listening, they don't know what ocean.
Yeah, they could look it up. You know, we're not the best in geography. You know that. But
was it the red ocean? No, that's the Red Sea, right?
The Red Sea. That's with Moses. I don't know how I feel about this international break. And if we had been talking here about guys being tired and feeling that the international break was going to give them a bit of relief, and as I mentioned, some of the key guys did travel. But here's the thing, and I don't know if this has come up or not. But Roger Schmidt, he gave 5 days vacation to players following the last official game that they played. Do you think that had something to do with the fact that the team came out and just didn't have a spark, didn't have a flame against Vitoria? Chris?
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, there's a bunch of things that come into play here. You could pinpoint to a whole bunch of them. Obviously, that being one of them. The other one, players coming back, as you've mentioned, had to, travel across huge parts of oceans.
That covers it.
Yeah, that's travel over huge parts of oceans. And, maybe these guys just, worn out. I know it's early on in the season here, but let's not forget. Benfica has played a tremendous amount of games in such a short time. Since the last week of July, Benfica's pretty much playing 3 games. A game every 3 days, I should say. So some of these guys are worn out. And then on top of it, if you look at that whole lineup, majority of the guys that are in Benfica starting lineup, they do get called up for international duty. They're a little bit burnt out. And, sometimes, Alfredo, it's easy for us to come on here and criticize Benfica for their performances in the whole night. But at times, and I do this very, very, very rarely here on the podcast, but it is a fact that sometimes you just have to tip your cap to the opposition. It seemed to me that the opposition wanted it a bit more. The stadium was absolutely jam-packed.
Yep.
They've been looking forward to this game. They were ecstatic that they were, they're actually saying it pre-games and stuff, and every interview you saw from players and coaching staff, that they wanted to be the first team to take away points from Benfica, and that's exactly what they did. And was I a little bit disappointed by some of the performances on Benfica's side? Yeah, absolutely. We are. Every time Benfica doesn't win a game, we're a little bit let down. But that being said, the other team wanted a little bit more. Roger Schmidt, we could talk about this as we get here into the podcast. There's some things I would have liked to have seen done differently. But, again, I think you said it best. There's times that we look forward to these international breaks where we need time, especially last year, guys, if you guys recall, when Benfica just couldn't get a result to save their lives. We just, I can't wait till this is over. Oh, man, the international break. But in this one's case right now, as Benfica was steamrolling everybody, this was not the time for an international break. We did not want to see this. You totally collapse. It totally stopped their momentum. And we hope Benfica will be able to get back on their horse and sprint away like they were doing before. So it's early on.
Yeah, but
we'll see what happens.
Porto played a scrimmage during that time. Sporting played a scrimmage, and we were on vacation for 5 days. I don't know if it might be just a coincidence. Again, the coach is the one that works with the players every day, so he's going to know whether or not he could give the players a vacation. But certainly, from the start of the season, it's been a jam-packed, no rest for the weary type of schedule for Benfica since the start. We played 4 additional games to get into the Champions League before anybody kicked the soccer ball in Portugal. So maybe that is the read that Schmidt needed to do. I say, all right, these guys have been playing nonstop. I'm going to give them a break. I don't know about 5 days, man. 5 days seems like a lot of time to be away from the team. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally understand the 5-day break thing. I understand it being the problem, but look, maybe the coach started believing their own press, the hype and stuff like that, and these guys will come back and everybody will be fresh. But at the same time, as I mentioned, there could be a lot of playing a game every 3 days. I mean, Benfica had played like 10 games in 40 days or whatever it was, something like that before even this break. So maybe the side of the guys were burnt out. They needed a break, and they do. Let's not forget, Benfica's from the main squad, even to the U19s and the B team. They have a tremendous amount of players get called up for international duty through the U21s and other nations and stuff like that. So maybe just figured he give some guys a break. And obviously, look, this one time it backfired.
Yeah.
This was not the prettiest of games. Benfica struggled mightily throughout the game, and I'll let you get into that stuff. And I'm pretty sure Dave and I and you will talk about their struggles as we talk here.
No, I just put up a graphic here, which was Benfica's first 45 minutes. And you look at this, and you look at one shot, and the shot wasn't even on target for the first 45 minutes. And I don't know how you feel, Dave, but for me, if I'm a Benfica fan, and if Benfica has been playing the way they have been playing, to look at a stat like this is disappointing.
Very, very disappointing. And I think Chris hit the nail hit the hammer on the nail there, where this would have been a game here last season that we would have been dreading to come on here and talking about. But quite frankly, I'm kind of pissed off at what I saw this past week. And all the credit to Guimarães. Like Chris said, they wanted it more. You could tell, especially guys like their Andre. He's got that hatred for us, and we couldn't match their intensity. Right? We just could never get it into that higher gear or get any real offensive opportunities there. And I think you've got the stats there for the first half, but I think overall we ended up with 7 shots all game and only 1 on target, which I believe was a free kick, if I'm not mistaken.
6 shots, 1 on target. Yes, it was a free kick by Grimaldo.
Yeah, so which was nothing that really troubled Bruno Varelo, which is also disappointing as well, because I think he owes us a couple of frangouge as well. So if maybe we put a little bit of more shots on target, we could have really tested him. But overall, just a very poor performance from the club. But it's a long season, right? We're gonna have these hiccups. I think we've been a little bit spoiled through the first quarter, if you want to call it a quarter of the season here, going 13 games undefeated and winning all first 13 games. So little results here to bring us a little bit back to earth. But I'll admit that I was not impressed with what I saw on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll see how this team reacts from this, right, Dave? In a few weeks from now, we can say, look, man, that was the total kick in the butt that we needed. We needed a wake-up call, because we knew, at least I don't want to say we knew, but we see how things get tough in Portuguese competition, especially when you start going away in these games here. You know that it's not going to be a walk in the park. Benfica, even though that struggled in a few games, but it was, at the end of the day, it's about the 3 points, and you just move on. So I think if we look back, if we're here in a couple weeks from now, Benfica is just steamrolling everybody once again. It's just piling up, the 3 points after each game. I think we'll look at this as just a hiccup in the park. But if not, this could be the very beginning of some things that we could really criticize here. I don't really want to go down that path right now. I haven't been here. It's been quite a while. I'm trying to be positive Cristiano. I don't want to come and start piling on everybody.
The folks know that you're indebted to them for not being here for quite a few weeks and not sharing your opinion. So you're kind of indebted. You got to make it up to a lot of these folks that listen to our podcast that haven't had the privilege of listening to you week in, week out. But certainly, I posted up the graphic now after 90 minutes, 6 shots, 1 on target, 63% of possession. And basically it's like a dress rehearsal. You just move the ball around, but you really don't do anything. And to me, it's just you're missing a lot of the guys that create that spark. Whether it was Neres, whether it was Rafa, whether it was
Well,
guys from the outside.
well,
But
Alfredo, if you really want me to,
go do it.
if you really want me to let my feelings be known, which is, look, man, especially you, Alfredo. I often have conversations with you on the phone or in person about how everybody wants to rate players when everything's going perfect, right? And I'm 44 years old, man. You give me the ball, my gut and everything, and I can still trap the ball with the best of them. When nobody around me, man, I'll look good. I mean, the shirt might not look too good on me, but I'll look good with the ball on my feet. You put a guy on me, I will not be able to do anything. And it's another case when we see in all these other games, Benfica had the ball, everybody just sitting back and waiting for them to come forward or allowing Benfica to, come at them on a counterattack, as we saw in Juventus, a lot of portions of that game. So it's easy when everybody's just backing off and you got tons of space, you're running at people. It's totally different now when you got the ball on your feet, somebody's right on your back, and now you got to create. And we've seen some of these guys. I know at the beginning of the season, I was very critical of the likes of João Mario. I was not happy when you're looking at a guy of his caliber that's one of the first 11 names on the squad. I think, and I thought at the time, and I still do think, that Benfica's bench is very short. We don't have enough options, and when a game like this, these weaknesses really come to the forefront. And we saw Benfica show there wasn't enough energy in the team in the first half. There's not enough creativity. You get the likes of João Mario. They're on a one-on-one down the left wing, and he turns around because he doesn't have the ability to beat somebody one-on-one. David Neres was apagado from the game because there was really no service. I've said it here, I believe, at the beginning of the season in our initial podcast, where if teams are smart, they zone in on Neres and just. There's no other creative playmaker on the team, on the field. Rafa's got the ability to beat you speed-wise, but not with the ball at his feet. And there's going to be struggles like this. Gonzalo Ramos, a guy, I'm not in love, but I understand his worth. I understand what he does. But a guy, again, that doesn't get enough service in games like these. In a game like this, I thought that it screamed bringing in Gilberto at halftime for Alexander Ba. And I had a conversation with a couple of my friends just last week that were convinced Alexander Ba was an exceptional signing. And I said, look, I like him. I'm not ready to vencer the guy. You know what I mean? I like him. And in a game like this, I don't understand how Roger didn't see that. This game screamed for Gilberto. Okay? This game screamed for a playmaker, somebody to come in and, like, as I use the term often on a podcast, grab the bull by the horns, but we don't have it. The guy that supposedly that was brought in to do that is Draxler, but he's clearly not ready yet. He's not in game rhythm yet. So there's just, look, when the team is going well, Benfica is going to get results. When the going gets tough, we're going to see matchups like this. And credit to Guimarães, they clearly wanted it more than Benfica. But there is a lot of red flags with this squad for me. There's been a lot of red flags, and you speak to Alfredo, you speak to Hugo, guys I speak to every single day about Benfica, and they'll tell you, I'm not just telling you this now after a bad result. I was saying this when Benfica was putting up results, right? That at some point, you were going to have to go to that bench and bring somebody in to make a difference in a game, and your options are Diogo Gonçalves, Chiquinhos, Peter, Moose. I don't understand what my boy Rui Costa is doing, but if he thinks that guy is a professional footballer, at least at the caliber of the team like Benfica, I don't know what the hell Rui Costa has been doing, but like there's just not a lot there for Roger Schmidt to work with. And now you see over and over and over the same starting 11 being used. The only difference, the only swaps we've seen has been at right back with Ba and Gilberto, and now it seems that Roger is really settled in with Ba. And then we saw it at the center back position because of injuries. Murato got hurt. The kid comes in. But besides that, it's been the same guys all the time because there's not enough options. You see us, and again, Alfredo, I don't want to get ahead of myself because I wanted to talk about the game, but you see a substitution he makes in extra time to bring in a John Brooks. There's, then putting the guy in just like a pavala por dentro and try to stir some trouble. There's not a lot of confidence in the rest of the roster. There's not a lot of options.
No, I agree with you, and certainly you can make an argument for what he was thinking with John Brooks
Yeah.
in terms of putting a guy up there and knock him down and let somebody pick up the second ball and make something of it.
No, and especially at that, especially as people need to remember, when he was subbed in, unless I'm going crazy, right? But I could have sworn it was on a free kick that Benfica had
Yes.
outside the box. So
Yeah.
I understand, like, bro, he's 6'6". Let me try to get lucky here. Maybe he gets to the end of a cross and I look like a genius. And then unfortunately he did it. And then it's just like my man looked like a fish out of water after that. But I understand the thinking for that instant.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be preoccupied if this is more of a thing that we see later on, because I know we were here on a podcast. We were critical when we'd see Vitoria late in the game send our center backs up. You know what I mean? So we have to be fair. If we criticize one, we can't give a pass to the other guy. Now, this is the first time, we'll give him a pass. But let's just hope that this is not something we see more often here down the line.
But he's trying to convert him to a center striker. We all those years JJ would convert his wingers to right back and left backs. He's trying to convert Brooks into our next striker there up top.
Yeah, no, like I got the idea. I just think that I just thought it was desperate on his part, and I don't know how much of it has been actually worked out in the training ground, because it just seemed that Brooks was all over the place, and I don't know, Brooks is just un brutamonte. But it's just it's one of those things, man. It's just I don't know, but I agree
See,
with
I'm
you
more
guys
understanding of it, Alfredo, because Benfica.
because there's no
pretty much-
bench.
No, but it's not just that. Not just that. But Benfica struggled mightily the whole game to create any real scoring opportunity. That was like the best scoring opportunity they created to say, oh my God, we got a free kick outside the box.
Yeah,
And so, like, yopa, agora nunca.
yeah.
And so we're not going to do much else to create. So let me bring this guy in and hopefully we'll get across into the box and he gets to the end of it. So that's the only if Benfica had been dominant and creating chance and it's just like the goalkeeper was having the night of his life where Benfica was just missing chance after chance, I would have been like, why? What do you? But at the time, Benfica really struggled to create any type of opportunity. So I'll give him a pass this one time.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that it lifts off a little bit of that pressure that keeps mounting as you win games, and then your head starts getting big in terms of how far can we take this run, and the fact that you lost some points, and deservedly so, right? I think that maybe this brings you down to earth and said, okay, well, time to refocus. We managed the game, we managed the possession, but we really didn't produce anything in terms of offense. And I do agree with Diogo Reis that we got lucky that we didn't get called for that penalty on Andre, because
To me, that was a clear penalty.
for
Alfredo.
me it
that
was
clear.
also
Clear. Night and day.
You can make an argument. Oh, his foot was already there. No, his foot wasn't already there, dude. He
That's
was
a
trying to
penalty.
do like one of those 1-2s with his feet to get out of traffic, and one of his feet got caught in Tinu's foot, and it was
That's
a
a penalty.
foul. It's a penalty. It's a penalty all day.
That's all day. And then the second one that got called back on the VAR.
It was right. To me, it was
I
right.
don't see. I don't know if it's right, man. I don't like it. I like the call. Right? Obviously, bailed out Benfica. I don't like because now you're gonna go into, did he drag his foot? Was he into it? Did he mean? That's all. That's again, Alfredo becomes subjective. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was
becomes
that was a
too
Taremi
technical.
special for me.
It becomes a little bit too technical for me, right? In terms of subject, just bro. Look, the goalie definitely made contact. He shouldn't have. The only way I'll let it go is if the ball's already out at the corner flag. Like, there's no way he's gonna get to it, whatever. But even then, I could still probably cry foul if it was for my team. Vlaco Dimos on that one play. I don't know what he was doing. This has been his MO at Benfica. Is indecisiveness it's cost Benfica at times. It will cost Benfica again in the future.
Yeah.
This is a game that he hesitated. He took a step out, it's backed up, then took off. He needs to straighten this out. And this is the reason why Benfica, I think, over the last 2 seasons, and rightfully so, in my opinion, has tried to look for other alternatives. In the summer, unfortunately, the alternatives that Benfica is going after is like, I don't know. They're going after no-name guys from I don't know where. But I think they should really invest in a proper goalkeeper a guy that could give you assurances with the ball at his feet, a guy that knows how to come out of his box, out of his lines, I should say, a guy that could come out for crosses. It's important, and I've said it here on a podcast over and over and over. It is tremendously important for a team like Benfica, a team that dominates possession of play in the Portuguese league for the majority of a game. It's important to have a goalie that knows how to hold on to a ball, that knows how to come out to a cross, because you get the small squads that come on a counterattack late in the game and he punches it out rather than grabbing the ball, giving Benfica possession back, punches that ball out on the said corner kick, we'd lose 1-0. Right? These are the things that I've picked on Vlaco for years now. I love the dude. I think he's a really nice guy. I've had the pleasure of hanging out with him and talking to him. And I feel bad saying this about it. At the end of the day, but I got to call a spade a spade. There's things that he needs to work on, and you've seen it again in this one game. Benfica was lucky, right? That the VAR, like you said, Alfredo, for whatever reason now, they're trying to change this penalty rule, whatever it is, they call that one back. But if not, Vlaco Dimas would have potentially, you'd like to think the penalty most likely would have been converted. And so, therefore, it would have cost Benfica. Benfica got lucky with Andre, got lucky there. And the performance just wasn't up to par to what we're accustomed to seeing. Now, I've mentioned something before, and neither of you guys touched up on it, but I'll ask the question. Were you guys surprised that you did not see Gilberto in this game? Did you guys think that this was a game for Gilberto? Did you guys think that what's it, Blah, right? Bah. Jeez. Did you guys think that Alexander Bah had a good game at all in this game?
No, but I don't think anybody had a good game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it wasn't his strongest performance.
I don't think anybody had a good game.
I think that's one of the easiest substitutions to make that Chris is pointing to. When one's not between Ba and Gilberto, if one's, how many times have we sat here and Gilberto hasn't had a good first half, and then Ba goes in?
Yeah.
Does Ba have a longer leash now than Gilberto, and Roger Schmidt is willing to keep him in there longer compared to Gilberto, where we've seen him take him off at halftime after struggling in the first half, right? If one of those two guys is not going, we can't be afraid to make the switch. If it's Ba in and is starting, and we need to take and put Gilberto in, or vice versa, right? Because we've seen it with Gilberto, but I wonder if Ba's got a little bit of a longer leash with Schmidt now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't think that nobody really played particularly well. Maybe Antonio Silva. Antonio Silva was the only one that stood out for me, but everyone else was just goddamn awful.
I agree with you to a certain extent, Alfredo. Right. The only difference to me here is when you're talking about look, it's one thing Grimaldo not playing well, and you really don't have confidence in his backup. You don't really know what you got in him. Okay, look. Right? With Ba, you have a viable option there.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I get that.
Unlike the other positions, right? A lot of other positions, you don't really have other. With Ba, you actually do have a viable player that could come in. Benfica was crying for energy in this game. That he's going to bring energy and attitude.
Yeah.
And again, if Ba was having a really good game, I understand it. Fine. The team was lacking energy, but Ba was playing. But as we just agreed here, Ba was not having a really a good game at all. And you have a guy that's at times come into the lineup, into the games, right? And injected that instant energy. And I think Benfica needed a wake-up call. And I was surprised that Roger did not play that card.
Yeah. No, he got in past games, he has had good reads and he has reacted well. I just thought he was a little bit out of depth in this game. I thought the substitutions came a little bit too late. I thought that John Brooks, smelled the desperation when you really don't have any other options. I don't know if I could blame it on that as he looks at the bench and see who else is out there. But certainly we've been praising him here that he's gotten a lot of things right and making the moves at halftime and making the substitutions at halftime and making it right. I just thought that this wasn't all that great. Dave, stats so we can move on, bro.
Stats, let's get it done and over with. Your winning streak ends at 13, short of the record of 15. And first time in 15 league games that Benfica was left off the score sheet, blanked. Last time that happened was against Porto. 1-0 result at the end of last season there.
Yeah. So now it's time to refocus, right? One of the biggest teams in Europe to come to Stadio de Luz this Wednesday or tomorrow as we record this. PSG match day 3 of the Champions League. Benfica has not lost or is perfect so far with 6 points. So is PSG. So it'll be a match at Stadio de Luz. And I think that after losing points to Vitoria de Guimarães and to have had the performance that they did, I think that I expect the team to respond very well. But it's going to be a good telltale sign on what this team is made of in terms of team chemistry on how they play against PSG. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is every Champions League game should be a game that players get up for, but in particular this game, I mean, you know the world's gonna be watching. You're gonna have the likes of Mbappe, Neymar, Messi. You might have heard of that guy, Messi. So everybody's clamoring to get into this game. You know the players are gonna want to show up because this is the brightest of stages, right? There's very few teams in the world that'll be an even brighter stage than this, than what it will be tomorrow at the Stade de Luz. And so, look, we hope the boys are up for it. We hope Roger Schmidt has something up his sleeve. I know that PSG has been caught napping a couple of times here so far early on in the season, even in the Ligue 1. And we're hoping that tomorrow is one of those games. We're hoping that Messi comes into Stade de Luz and he just starts daydreaming and fantasizing about his idol Pablito Aymar playing on the same pitch, and he's mesmerized by it, and he's really not up for a football match tomorrow. And so, uh, I mean, what else is there to say, Alfredo? I mean, it's going to be a very very tough match for Benfica. We hope that the boys are up for it.
Yeah, Dave, what are your thoughts, man?
I wish I was coming a little bit as more positive as Cristiano was, but I'm not feeling too comfortable about this game. PSG is just on a completely different level. Can we catch them sleeping? Of course we can. I mean, I don't know if you guys recall, but even Maccabi Haifa had the early lead on them on the second match day there, but PSG is just on a completely different level, and I hope it's a game, and I hope it's we're in the game late on, but um, I don't know. One draw, and I'm back to already these old negative feelings of last season. I hope I'm proven wrong, but
Dave, come
I'm not
on,
feeling.
Dave.
I hope I'm not. I hope I'm proven wrong, and it's a good result, but I'm pretty negative after Saturday.
You can't do that, man. It's only one slip up. Like I said, I think that the team is primed to have a good game against PSG. I'm very optimistic about this game. I'm not saying that that we'll win convincingly, but I think that we'll compete. I don't think that PSG will come into this game sleeping, although they have been caught sleeping in some games. But I think that they come in understanding that Benfica is 2-0 as they are. They have a chance to put some distance between them and Benfica, take it to France on the return leg, if you want to call it, and put even more distance. But I think that PSG is going to try to get all 3 points.
Absolutely.
And at the very worst, maybe they'll say, okay, well, maybe if we salvage a point here, we'll bring it home. We'll bring it home.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping, Alfredo. That's what we're hoping, that they'll be satisfied with the point, knowing that they're going to play a week later at the Parc dos Príncipes over there in
Yeah.
Paris, and that they'll be like, look, we get an opportunity to distance ourselves. At the end of the day, this is a two horse race, for the group and to get out of the group. But at the end of the day, players want to win.
Yeah.
And we just hope that Benfica's up for it. My thing about tomorrow's matchup is, look, there's no shame if you lose a game to the likes of Paris Saint-Germain. It's about the way you play.
Yeah.
There's ways to lose. And I think that if Benfica, and I'm not saying that Benfica's going to lose, but if they are to lose, I want to see Benfica play football. I want to see Benfica come out. I don't want to see Fernando Santos ball right? Portuguese national team against Spain with the equal players, with the equal roster, and just sitting all 11 men behind the ball and not even trying to attempt to come over the midfield line. I don't want to see that from Benfica. I don't think we're going to get that from Roger Schmidt. So
Yeah.
I think Benfica will actually play better in this game than what they did over the weekend, because I think PSG is going to give you more spaces, right, to Benfica to attack, and more opportunities for Benfica to do things. Now, it'll be the huge difference between this team and the majority of the teams in the world is when you give a Messi, a Neymar, Mbappe, even Sarabia, who's hell of a player last year at Sporting in the Portuguese league. You give these guys they're not going to miss too many.
No.
And so that's what it comes down to. It's going to come down to Benfica taking care of their own defensive end. It's going to come down to Benfica and Gonçalo Ramos and Neres and Rafa and these guys to be on their game. And if they get the one opportunity, we've seen this from Gonçalo Ramos, though. To me, that's the one negative from Gonçalo Ramos' play so far, is that he'll get 6 chances, puts away 1. So tomorrow, Benfica cannot miss any of these opportunities. If they get one opportunity, they have to make sure it's on target and try to do the very best that they can to put the ball in the back of the net, because it's going to be a very difficult matchup. These guys don't miss, man. This is a team that's got mega hitters.
Yeah,
you know
real
These
test.
guys are knockout hitters.
Yeah, real test for Benfica. And when you talk about, how much we've praised Antonio Silva, tomorrow is going to be a huge test for him, especially with Otamendi not having the speed that he may have had while in his 20s. I don't know if he was ever a speedy player, but certainly it's going to be challenging, man. It's going to be challenging.
I'll tell you this.
For that front line.
I think tomorrow, Alfredo, and I'm sorry to cut you off, brother, but I know you missed that. I think tomorrow, Gilberto plays. He's a better defensive player than Ba. I think he plays tomorrow. What do you think?
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise. I don't think that Ba is completely locked in there. I think that there's based on game plans and opposition. I think that's how Roger Schmidt has been favoring one or the other. I don't know. I like Gilberto's intensity and energy and commitment, but I don't know if he has the speed to keep up with Neymar, dude, or Mbappe, whoever falls on that side.
I mean, pick your poison.
Yeah, I think that Ba has a little bit more lung and stamina to go and to at least keep up with those guys. But I like Gilberto's intensity and commitment so much, man. And every time he goes on the field, and echoing the sentiments that you had in terms of the Vitoria game, that perhaps this would have been a spark that we needed with Gilberto coming in. But certainly, I think that that defense is going to have their hands full tomorrow, as well as the midfields. I think it's going to be difficult. And I agree. If we have chances, we need to put them away. We have to be very efficient. Dave, you got any numbers you want to throw out?
Yes, I do. 6 previous meetings between both clubs, and Benfica has the advantage. 3 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. Their last meetings came in the 2013-2014 Champions League campaign, where Benfica won the home leg 2-1 and lost 3-0 in Paris. And this season, PSG 11 wins, 1 draw across all competitions.
Yeah.
Well, when I said they got caught napping, that was the draw, because I knew they definitely drew 1 game, but then I was just, as I was talking, I don't know if you noticed the hesitation. I'm like, I don't think they. But yeah.
No, they drew 1 game in France.
Yeah.
Renato Sanchez is not available for this game, and neither is what's his name? Kimpembe. Did I say that right, Chris? I know that you're a follower of Ligue 1.
Yeah, oui, je parle très bien.
Oui, Kimpembe. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting, man. I'm looking forward to the game, to be honest with you. And I think that Benfica is gonna be able to compete. Whether or not we're gonna be able to take the 3 points, that's a whole different conversation. But certainly, I think that the team, it will go through a moment of refocusing for this game, I think. And look,
this is what we crave, Alfredo.
Yeah, exactly.
This is great. We want to be here on this stage.
Yeah, and if you're a football player too, you want to play against the best. and we see all the time in the Tugão, little teams getting up to play Benfica. Let Benfica get up to play PSG. Simple as that. You guys want to risk?
I want the side of the loose to be rocking. I don't want this
Rocking.
lullaby, sleeping, snooze fest, bro. Amanya, put your phones in your pocket. Forget the stupid lose only for winning. For winning, like 2-0, then bring out the lose. If not, put that away, man. Just scream support. Everybody get behind this team. Tomorrow is a huge game.
Yeah,
It's a
I would
huge
like to
game.
see. I would like to see more of a crowd that Salut lose than at the Coldplay concert.
Go
Well,
play
they've
was
got
at side of the
some-
loose.
No.
I think they got a choreography planned for the beginning of tomorrow's match.
hope so.
From what I saw on social media.
Chris, you
Yeah.
wanna take a stab at a result prediction?
Stop. I just look. I'm back. I need to get informed first. All right. First day back. I need to. Estás logo mandar por deep end, bro. Relax. They don't even
Inform
do that with
or
Draxler.
needs to get on people's good side.
Yeah, Draxler makes $7 million a year, and Rogers taking it easy with him. I'm over here on my own will, and you throwing me right to the deep end. Yo, calma, pa. Take calma.
Oh, good to have you back,
Dave.
brother.
What do you think, Dave?
2-0 PSG.
2-0 PSG. So that's 0-2. I'm gonna go with 2-2. And Chris, I'm gonna guess for you. I'm gonna say 2-0. I want to say 3-1 PSG. For you. For you. Oh, you don't want to give me. You don't want to give me a prediction.
But that's what I was thinking in my head. That's why I'm laughing. That's why I'm saying no brings me, pa. I'm like, I swear to God, I wasn't gonna say it, but you're like, I'm a guess for you. I was like, if he hits it, you said 2-0. I'm like, nah. I'm thinking in my head now. Thinking like 3-1. I was like, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Go play the lottery.
It's gonna be an exciting
3-1.
game. So if you got a little extra coin, put some money on those results. I'm sure you won't win.
Yeah, you gotta wait. You gotta wait until I get back in form, and then Dave's made a couple bucks off my predictions here. So once I get back in form, hopefully we can start making it. Some chump change here for the podcast.
Yeah. And up next is Rio Ave.
At home.
Yeah.
At home.
Let me just
On Saturday.
I gotta enter this shit. Yeah. All right. Rio Ave.
Já queres avançar para isso? I mean, I'm so excited, and I don't want to say
You're
focused.
so
'cause I'm not
excited.
focused, but I'm so much looking forward to tomorrow's game. I mean, I understand Rio Ave is important. Don't get me wrong, but like it feels like that's second afterthought right now. I don't really want to think about that game, and so much of if you're gonna ask, and I know you will ask for prediction from us. As far as I go, so much of my prediction will have a lot to do with tomorrow's result. I mean, if Benfica gets shellacked, obviously the confidence of players is going to be broken. If they come up with a good performance, the spirits of the squad will be totally different. So I'm so focused on tomorrow, so looking forward to tomorrow's game that I think it's unfair to really sit here and talk about Rio. I mean, you're going from the moon to right back down to earth, in a few days' time.
No, I get it. I understand. Dave, what's Rio Ave up to?
Rio Ave this season are currently in 11th position with 9 points from 2 wins, 3 draws, 3 defeats. Historically, 49 wins, 11 draws, 5 defeats against Rio Ave. Benfica have never lost to Rio Ave at home, and going 26 wins, 4 draws during that spell. Our last 10 against them, 9 wins, 1 loss. The loss coming in 2017, 2018, the TASA quarterfinals, where we got eliminated by them.
Yeah, and
You remember that day?
I do. I think that's when that was the final competition. We were out before January. We were out of all competitions, and that was the last one there.
Yeah. Rio Ave has already beaten Porto this year. Not that means anything. Well, that means something.
Smacked them. They didn't
3-1.
beat 'em.
But
Yeah, it's
certainly a team that's capable of giving us trouble in the way we've been playing domestically. And I this Vitoria result shouldn't really surprise anyone because the games prior we had just barely squeezed out results. We beat who was it? Famalicão at
Vizela,
Vizela.
Vizela,
Uh,
Zero Pass Ferreira, Road 3-2.
yeah,
Struggle to hold on.
it's
Yeah.
been really tight, man. It's been really tight in terms of results. We've been able to inch out some results. So this Vitoria game or result doesn't didn't really surprise me. You kind of see it coming, but uh, especially
But
this month of October, it's very delicate.
But Alfred, I said it before, and I'll keep reiterating this till the cows come home. There's ways, right? There's. It's all about the way you play, right? Somebody here on the chat on YouTube said you're not going to win every game. You're right. We hope they do, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we all want them to, but we understand at the end of the day they're probably not going to win every game. But it's about the way they played, and the fact that Benfica was not in this game at all. We created very few chances, right? We got very fortuitous with the two non-penalty calls, right? One reverse by VAR, the other one the referee didn't have no time to go look at it, thankfully.
Yeah.
um, my man, think them, please. Um, again, it's about the way they play. And the one disappointment is that, dude, again, no chance. There was no chances created. I understand the Vizela game, we struggled a little bit, but we did have, good spurts in that game. The Paz Ferreira, we looked like the game was out of hand, out of reach, 3-1, and we were losing 1-0. And then all of a sudden we turn it around. It's a wrap. It's over. And then, oh, snap. And there's Paz Ferreira again. And then Benfica held on at the very end of the game for the 3-2 result. But there was spurts in the game where Benfica was dominant. In this game, Benfica was never dominant for no
that
stretch
was like
of the game.
the first 10 minutes of the second half. I thought that Benfica was coming out to do something, but they fizzled out after that.
Yeah, but it wasn't dominant. It
wasn't dominant. But
they had the ball at their feet, but they weren't creating chances.
But they were more purposeful with the ball, but didn't create chances. But they were being more direct and more objective with the ball in that first 10 minutes of the second half. But you win championships on these little games, man.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what it's about. But look, Rio Ave is a well-organized team. I believe they won the second division last year, if I'm not mistaken. Right? I think they won it.
Yeah,
that's how they got promoted.
Yeah.
They've wanted to be back in the first division, and here they are. As Dave said, they're in 11th place, 2 wins. They're a decent football club. They're not a terrible club, as you mentioned. They spanked Porto at home, but I'm confident because it's at Stade de Luz. I think Benfica at home with the crowd behind them, even though that crowd sometimes is half asleep, is a totally different team. I think teams come to Stade de Luz to hunker down and try to catch Benfica napping, where at home they get their fans behind them and they're a little bit more energetic themselves. So it brings me confidence, only because of that, because it's Stade de Luz. But again, a lot of it will have to do with tomorrow's result. We hope that Roger and his boys will, be up for the task. I do think that we might see a surprise tomorrow in Draxler starting the game. I'm not sure about it. I'm just trying to mention something that could be a little bit different. Playing against his former team, maybe the guy's up for it to show them that. And remember, he's on loan too. He could always go back next season. But maybe the guy have a little bit of revenge up his sleeve, and we might see a little bit something different because it's been the same 11 over and over and over. I know there's reports that Arsonist might start tomorrow instead of Florentino.
Yeah.
So we'll see some changes, and I do think one of them will be Draxler. And if it is, I hope he comes in and he plays well because Benfica needs another option. He's the type of player that can destabilize things and create opportunities, against these teams, the Guimarães, the Rio Aves at home. Because when these teams hunker down and they play the low block, it's Benfica doesn't have a lot of guys that can penetrate that unless, at least with the ball at their feet. And so Drax is one of those guys that can make a difference. So hoping tomorrow is, all in all, hopefully Benfica wins this game. But all in all, I want it to be a very positive day for the boys.
Yeah, no, I got to be honest. I'm very optimistic about the game tomorrow. So I don't know if I just jinxed it or not, but I'm very positive about the game tomorrow. So we'll see what happens.
Can they leave Jesus Navas at the Luz tomorrow when they go back to Paris?
Yeah, maybe in the winter break. He was very close to coming to Benfica.
No, but he can stay now. But that's what I'm saying. Deixa o gajo ficar agora,
Então,
let him
mas o
get
gajo não
acclimated.
pode jogar, pá.
I said let him get acclimated. He looks for the house. He's not playing anyway.
That's
Donnarumma's playing.
That's the
So
truth.
let him go house shop. Maybe you could take over Tarap's house. Tarap's house was on a golf course, right in a country club. Beautiful house. Maybe look, eba.
They all live in that same Arueda complex over there. But anyway, lastly, we found out today there was a Portuguese Cup draw. We found out today that we're going to be playing Caldas da Rainha on the weekend of October 15th. The third.
Did anybody
round.
see the draw? They did
I
this
didn't see
draw
the
like
draw.
in somebody's basement.
Somebody's
right?
basement?
Yeah, I'm telling you, there was no report, no live. I think it was
They
in
had
somebody's
marbles
closet.
inside the sock, and the guy would just like stick his hand inside the sock and pull out a marble.
No sei, pá.
I
Aquilo
didn't see
era
it. What did Porto
bolinhas
and
quentes.
Sporting get? You guys know?
I don't know. All I know is this. I know Benfica got
Uh,
Caldas da Rainha, and I know that Guimarães got Canelas. So
Ooh.
that's going to be fun.
Guimarães and Canelas. That's gonna be a tough one. Macaco
The
might
White
not,
Angels. The White
Macaco might not be able to go to the
Ele vai ser
Dragão, but he'll
fisca.
go to the Guimarães or whatever. Dave,
I
do you
don't know
know?
where the game.
Sporting
I don't know
and
where the
I'm
game
checking it up here. Anadia for Porto.
Anadia?
Anadia.
Anadia?
Hey. Epa,
And
Anadia.
Sporting Varzim.
Oh, okay.
Varzin's the toughest one of them all.
Yeah, Anadia is, I don't know, third. I want to
Anadia
say
is
third.
close to home.
Campeonato Nacional?
Anadia is close to home. I don't know where Caldas da Rainha. I don't know where
I
they're
think
at.
Caldas da
Caldas
Rainha
is
might
playing
be.
in the same. I was just looking them up. Same third division with like Leiria, Académica.
So they're Campeonato Nacional, I think. That's the CNS.
I think Académica doesn't even exist no more, right? Didn't they?
No, I think
call
they.
it a-
Oh, they're
um,
there. They're there. They got
They called it a
relegated.
wraps. Didn't they call it a wrap?
I
they,
think
they just
they
said,
went
"Yo, we packed."
bankrupt, I think.
Yeah, they packed their balls and said, "Vou pra casa." I
they
think
went
that's what I think
bankrupt.
they
Yeah,
closed the
that's what I
doors.
heard.
Yes. Saw something
Yeah,
like
man.
that.
So that's
They were just playing Tondela this past weekend.
yeah.
That's
I
second
don't-
division though, Dave. Tondela's in second division,
Yeah, I
not
don't-
third.
Yeah, but they played Tondela. Académica played Tondela in the Taça.
But I read something. I read something about.
Yeah, I
Académica.
could have sworn Académica Coimbra. I could have
Yeah.
sworn that they like disbanded. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I thought I did. Maybe I didn't.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it was good having you back, Stianu. Hopefully, you can make it back next week again.
Bro, we're not making a breakdown here of the Caldas da Rainha. Come on, that's exciting.
We need a Caldas da Rainha expert.
Let me ask you guys a question. This game is in Caldas, right?
Yes.
Because this round is
Yeah.
so. Do they even have a stadium? They got a good.
Why wouldn't they have a stadium, dude?
I don't mean a stadium. I mean with seats. Remember Benfica played
The
a game that they
seats.
brought in. Oh, peraí,
They sit up on a little incline. They just stand up.
Oh,
on the
you
little
don't
incline?
remember? You don't remember a couple years ago Benfica played? I think they won like 1-0. They played someone. They brought in the metal seats because they didn't have enough stands.
Removable stand.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, I was gonna get to there.
No, they might to just increase capacity, but they do have a stadium.
I don't know.
You know, we got to send Chris to get a pitch update though. We got to see how the grass is in Caldas. Make sure it's okay. Get the pictures out.
You know who's from Caldas? Neil. We gotta get Neil. He's gonna know. Neil, stop out. Tell me about somebody. They go to Leiria again. I don't know. Caldas by my area in Fatima.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Diogo Reis. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
I gotta do some
Can
research.
they go to Leiria and play in Leiria? I don't know.
Hold on, Caldas da Rainha Stadium.
Look that up on 00, Chris. Look
I was
that
gonna
up.
say it does not exist.
Capacity 157. Standing.
What, this?
Standing room
Epa,
only.
no. Stat.
No,
don't be disrespectful.
No, I don't.
It's gotta
I
be
don't.
like it's gotta be a couple of hundred,
Here,
couple of
here.
thousand.
Couple hundred, couple thousand? What is it, Chris?
It shows the stadium in Leiria. Maybe they play
You
in
go
Leiria.
ZZ?
It shows 13,000. Can't be.
13,000.
Campo de Mata.
Yeah. Campo da Mata, 13,000. That sounds about right.
So wait, is the Campo in the Mata?
looks like it.
Namata is in the camp.
Campo Mata football stadium, 13,000 capacity.
Caldas
Hey, no, man.
Sport Club. Let's see.
Mas isto aqui
I'm looking up
isto
00
tem
here.
bancadas.
They play. You know what they're called the Pelicans. Did you know that, Cristiano?
From New Orleans.
The Pelicans.
They,
That's
yeah.
their nickname, the Pelicans.
The Pelicans
I
from New
thought they
Orleans. Peraí, tá
were
aqui. College Sports Clube.
College Sports
Managers
Club.
Zavala. Capacity 13,000. Epa!
Yeah, 13,000. So they got a nice stadium.
Camta Mata. Tá aqui. The Wikipedia just says nothing.
It says nothing.
Yeah, it says you need to log in, create certain one.
You got to make the page yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
And their website says available
Under
soon.
construction.
Yeah.
The stadium will be available soon. They're bringing in those stands. I told, dude, this I'm looking. This is Estádio Municipal Caldas da Rainha, but this is Municipal. This is not the one.
Yeah.
'cause
Everybody
there's
gets
no way.
gets a fucking one of those dolls from Caldas da Rainha, but it's a bobblehead.
Oh yeah, the
For
Cox,
the first
right?
1,000
The
fans.
Cox.
They do. They got. That's what it is.
I gotta tell you a story, Chris. When I was a very small boy, I
Very
went on a school trip to Caldas da Rainha.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys have been at Caldas da Rainha, but they have the dolls, and the dolls have something in front of their middle of their legs, right? And there's a string that you pull. So they had
And it lifts. It lifts the
right,
towel.
they had these dolls, and they had one for Benfica, and I thought, oh, but that's a great present for my dad. So I came home with that shit for my dad, and my dad didn't think it was funny at all. I told him, like, pull the string. My dad pulls the string, the fucking
Caldas da Rainha is
That-
yeah.
that,
So it's
you
near
know,
Peniche, Rio Maior. It's over there. Yes.
the
Yes,
big
okay.
the big pow came out of the the Benfica player was holding the gallardete in front of it, and when you
Yeah,
pull
yeah,
the string, the big pow
lifts.
came out, and my
lifts
dad
the
my dad
gallardete.
wasn't really too pleased with it.
He wasn't impressed.
No, he wasn't. He didn't get the joke. He thought it was
It's safe to-
disrespectful that I got that for him.
It's safe to say he didn't let you go on another trip to Caldas da Rainha, right? He
Nah.
didn't sign off.
No, I was very bad on the trips. One time I went to a trip and we went to a beach, and I was wearing these white pants or beige pants, and we were just jumping around on a beach and in the sand, and there was these little pellets of tar. So I came home, and my mother beat my ass because my pants were full of tar. So I haven't been I don't have a very good track record when I was going on trips in Portugal when I was a young boy. But I forget if it was Figueira da Foz or whatever it was, but there was these little pellets of tar on the beach, and I got my pants were ruined. Hey Chris, next time you talk to my dad, ask him about the time I
I'll call
brought
him
him the Caldas da Rainha doll. See how he
I'm
liked
gonna
it.
call him tomorrow. I'm asking if he still has it.
My mom still held that shit for a while. They didn't
Yeah,
think it was
my-
funny, but it was put away
Actually-
somewhere.
I actually called your dad today to see if he was ready for tomorrow's game.
Yeah, he's going. I'm sure.
Yeah, of course he's going.
Are you? What are you doing with your red pass? Oh yeah,
No.
I got it.
Nothing.
I know you don't
I'm
have.
obviously-
You don't have
I'm
red
obviously
pass
not going.
total.
Yes, I do. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you?
No, you're going. All right,
Yeah, I do.
everybody.
Olha,
Thank
I
you
don't
very
want red
much,
pass total.
everybody. Chris is here. Happy day.
Love you guys.
Dave
Thank you so much for supporting the podcast.
Dave
if you
and
go
I
on my
held
Twitter-
it together, man.
If you go on my Twitter profile, you could donate to my account. No, I'm joking. No, all jokes aside. Now, thank you guys. You guys are, vocês são polivalentes, bro. You guys are a bunch of Andre Almeidas. You could do a little bit of everything. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the listeners, man. It's been a long time. I miss you guys. Love talking about Benfica, and things are back to normal, hopefully. So,
Yeah.
You'll hear me a lot more on the Benfica podcast, and hopefully I'll be back next Tuesday with going berserk, going bananas.
Yeah, we'll
over
break
at
down the
Tremendous.
Riwav game, the PSG game, and we'll look ahead for the second leg of the PSG game. Take care, everyone. It's nice. Dave, we held it together for Chris. Now he's here. He's our
Let's
savior.
go.
That's right. Take care,
Ah,
everyone.
there goes all the listeners.